My name is Marcus Mattox. I am father.
I am father.
Back against the wall, head still high, push through it all. Father am I, lead by example, but still I gotta follow. Value your seeds, let's promise them tomorrow. Forever I stand, it's never to be a bother. Forever I'm man, forever I'm father. Forever I stand, it's never to be a bother. Forever I'm man, forever I'm father.
My name is Allen Ervin, and this is I Am Father.
My name is Gabriel Allen Ervin Sr., and I am doing the best that I can to pass down legacies from my name to my thoughts, to my ways, to my actions, to my money. Notice I said money is last because foundational principles, are we talking about character? We're talking about being the right person mentally. We're talking about being the right leader, right? We're talking about emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, and then money. You get all those other things together, then money gonna come, right? But journey to manhood. When I was a child, I thought like a child. I talked like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. And notice I said the ways of childhood. Because there's a particular way that you act like a child and talk like a child and think like a child, even reason like a child. But you got to put those ways behind you. And what we're doing right now is going alongside your son on this journey to manhood. And I'm here to interview one of our mentors today, a guy that's very passionate about mentoring, a guy who does it consistently, a guy who has been through it, been through the challenges, and I want you to hear it. I want you to hear the ups and downs. I want you to hear what we are doing on a consistent basis. So thank you for tuning in again. And I hope you enjoy just as much as I do. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on? How you doing, man?
Doing well, man.
Good
Thanks for coming out, man.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, I've been checking you out on the Zoom, and I like everything that you do. I want to definitely partner with you on a lot of things that you're doing. I think fatherhood is something that we all can contribute to. All right. Introduce yourself, my brother. Tell everybody about you. How many kids you got? The ages of your kids as a father.
My name is Marcus Mattox. I have 5 kids. Oldest is 23, 21, 19, 13. My only boy is 8. Okay. I'm a truck driver. I own two trucks. I'm a father of many. You know, I'm an uncle. I do, there's a lot of things that as far as who made me me because of my kids surrounding fatherhood. Okay. So when you say you're a father of many, meaning you're a father to your nephews, your nieces. Yeah, you know, growing up, back in the day, they used to always say, the neighbor's gonna tell you when you outside, tell your parents. So right, that's a whole community, Absolutely. So I'm so used to that, Now these days, there's not enough, parents being parents just around the community. Everybody's single out. They don't worry about the kids enough. You're in the community, you worry about everybody's kids, get home to your mom, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you get home before the streets light come on.
Absolutely. That's the way we was raised, at least. That's where we were raised.
Yeah. And I think that was more effective than anything in a way.
Yeah.
Because it kind of made your head stay more straight than anything,
Village is important. I mean, definitely. Yeah. I think if we had the village of yesterday, today, everybody would be held a lot more accountable.
Yeah.
A lot more accountable. So when I say fatherhood, I mean, what does that mean to you?
That definitely means protection, active listening, just always being more accountable, and trying to understand, what it is like just from a kid standpoint, understand that fathers have feelings too, we're not just rocks, what I'm saying? We cry on the inside too, you know what I mean? And understand that our kids also have feelings also, and the way we talk to them, from the tone, so they can feel how strong you're coming at them. And sometimes it make them reject into a bowl. it pushed me into a corner, and then when you push me to a corner, I think that sometimes as fathers, we feel like we got to tackle everything together. You know what I mean? Everything just on us. You know what I'm saying? Let me push. Let me do this. Sometimes we got to take a step back,
right?
As a father, and understand that that's a discernment from a father. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we gotta hold boundaries on ourselves when we become fatherhood.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. You hit on a lot. Then, there's more to being a father than just that strong figure. You know what I'm saying? You got to have other characteristics in your toolbox, and nurturing is part of it.
Right.
Nurturing is part of it. It may not be as much nurturing as the mama can bring, but we have to be empathetic. There's a lot of quote unquote soft characteristics that people don't normally put on a father that they have to definitely exhibit.
Yeah.
Love being one of them. And love, it's a lot of characteristics to love. The Bible talks about God is love. Well, we know it's a lot to God.
Yeah.
It ain't all passionate,
Yeah, they always say, you love God, like you said, it's a lot, but the only true meaning of that you have to really seek him is intimacy. You just got to spend time with him. It's okay to be in the dark room. God said, I'm going to put you in the dark room to develop. I don't want you to stay there and be stuck.
Talk about that, my brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk about intimacy.
Intimacy is like when you going close. You really be vulnerable with God. Be transparent, because God, he wants you to be there with him. He wants you. If you got a problem, bring it to him. Talk to him about it. Be open with him. You be flexible with him. When you do that, then it draws God even more closer to you. And it makes you, like David, go after God's heart. And sometimes when we don't get that intimacy that we want to give God, we pull back from him also. Because we feel like, okay, I got this, but intimacy, it draws you closer to God. That's what intimacy do to me, man.
Well, I tell you, man, you just said something, because a lot of what we do in the natural first happens in the spirit. Right? So understanding intimacy with God will help you understand intimacy in your physical relationship, because a lot of times men confuse intimacy with different other physical attributes when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
I know intimacy is one of those characteristics I didn't have growing up. And it wasn't because anything other than the foundation in which I was being raised. Intimacy was not a strong part of it.
Yeah, I think I could touch on that too, because my dad he didn't give me all that either.
Okay.
That's something I had to learn. When you learn intimacy, you learn from the streets. You learn the I want to say the version of it that you shouldn't learn.
Absolutely.
It's the wrong version. You learn from school. First it's coming from your parents, from your house. When you talk about it, you know what I'm saying. And when you talk to your parents about it, that's intimacy in itself, because you trust your parents more to be closer to them, to believe them, versus believing your friends, being closer to them.
Absolutely.
So I think that sometimes we seek intimacy in the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? We feel like, okay, they right. My parents are wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you growing up as a father, we teach our kids this. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wanted my dad to teach me this, but he didn't. I wanted more for him, and that kind of made me be in a dark place also towards him. You know what I'm saying? So, but even at 42 or 41 years old, when not 40, 44 when he died. I was 44 when he died. And when
you said you was 44.
I was 44 when he died. It really made me look at my dad and say, you know what? I forgive you for everything. I learned more in those last seconds of your life than I did in the last 25 years of my life. Because it didn't only pull me in, it actually let me go too. Because when I forgave him, it released a lot of stuff off of me.
The intimacy.
Yeah, the intimacy of it. You know what I mean? So it made me feel like, yo, hey, I love you more than what I thought I did. It wakes you up. And death, some people look at death as gone. I look at death as a graduation. You know what I'm saying? Because,
absolutely.
Because for me, man, when my dad died that day, man, it was like, yo, I forgive you. I really do. And it felt good. It really felt good. I'm trying to release that. And then I think I told you on the Zoom that I told my dad, I said, I'll wait for you to be a better father. But I could have been a better son also. To understand where you was coming from as a father that didn't have the father. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to pull back. You gotta look at beyond where he's coming from. You know what I mean? So you gotta see where he came from first, and then say, okay, you brought it to me naked because you didn't know where to start. And sometimes we don't know where to start at. We become stuck instead of like, I don't know. That's what a lot of fathers do. Sometimes we don't know. And we don't know the next step because we're so scared to take it. Because we're so scared to take it, we just stand still and don't do anything. And that's what I think. That's why I think the hard place come from. I'm good right here. So as long as I'm good right here, I'm safe. And some men safe. Some fathers who are safe is more like, I know this because I've been here. The comfortability, you know. And like I said, that's the dark place. Like I'm good right here, you know. Like this is my wall. But once you outgrow that wall, like I said, a wall you won't never get rid of it. The only thing you do is outgrow it. When you outgrow it and you see who's actually around you, and you move away from it, then you look back on it and you notice those are tombstones you've been holding behind because those are graves where you've been sitting at. Things where you would die, but you keep holding on to. Because when you let it go, you gotta be ready to go. So I said, let it go, but I need you to be ready to go also. Let go don't mean stay. Let go means go.
Yeah. Detach, right? Yeah, Pastor talked about this, the law of detachment.
Yeah.
You know, in order to attach to something good or God, you got to completely detach from what you attach to. Now you got to let it go. So what you're saying, man, you hit on a lot, man. Foundational principles is one that I want to talk about now, because one thing I say is you shouldn't really hold nothing against your parents as far as or your father as far as how they raised you, because it's about foundational principles. And they may not have had those foundational principles in their life. Like your dad or someone's dad, their dad may not have been there. And if their dad was there, the foundation would be stronger with you. Just like if their dad's dad was there, their foundation would have been stronger with them. Right. So we're revolutionizing the paradigm of fatherhood through the innovative use of technology, all of this. Right. So with that in mind, what inspired you to really go into a mentorship type mindset? Like, what inspired you to be a mentor?
I think it's more of by my father being on his deathbed, when that really completely woke me up, and I wanted better for my son. So when I say I wanted better for my son, I mean that I didn't know what I didn't know that, you know, by me not looking and understanding and being close to my dad to see exactly where he's coming from, I looked at it and said, I want my son to be better. And I love what Pastor said the other day at Bible study. He said, saying yes or no is basic. Get to best or better, you know, because the only thing you do is get better to get to your best. You get better or the best, you know. So, and that's exactly how I feel. You know, I want my son to be better. I want you to be at your best. I want you to keep getting better. Every day you ought to be better. I was telling you, be better than the day before. And that what really made me be better, because I want him to see the blueprint. A different blueprint, something where he could build on also. That's one of the things and plus, man, for me to help someone else, that's very important to me. You know, it's not just my kids, you know what I'm saying? Not just my son. It's whoever need for me to talk to him, I'm okay to talk. I'm okay.
And that's where the mentorship come in.
Yeah.
So what does taking responsibility, what does that mean for you when it's applied to a mentee as a mentor?
Like, just really, it's the responsibility is just being there. Just being there for a person, because sometimes that's the only thing a person needs for you to be there. You know, they didn't have that structure to say their father wasn't there. So sometimes a person needs you there just to listen, you know, just to say one or two words, you know what I'm saying? Or sometimes a person needs you to be there just to say, you know what, it's going to be okay. Because sometimes my voice could change somebody else's choice, because your voice could change someone else that I can't reach. You know what I mean?
Right. Can you share an example when you had to talk to a mentee about taking responsibility and what that was all about, the importance of it?
Yes. When the guy at my job, his son needed someone to talk to. He said, my son won't listen to me. So I said, okay. I went in I asked him, I said, do you have anything to say to me? He said, no. I said, okay. I said, I would just sit here. If you do what you want me to do, I'll sit here. We sat up for an hour. And then his dad came and said, it's not working. And he asked his dad, can you step out? And I asked him, I said, why you ask your dad to step out? He said, because my dad don't listen. So I turned the mic on.
Can the dad step out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, okay. So what I did was I went outside and talked to the dad. I said, sometimes I think the kid, like I think what I talked about earlier, the tone, the push, it pushes them into a corner to where they block everybody out except for a stranger. You know, their voice, okay, I don't know that voice, but I listen to it. So when his dad left, he told me some stuff. And I said, okay, would you like to tell your dad? He said, can you sit in the room? And I said, okay. And I said, why is this such important? He said, because sometimes I need somebody to hold my hand just to let it go.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's all they need. It's just to help. Just to help. You know, sometimes we hold our hand out and nobody grab it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just showing you, I got you. You know what I'm saying? The only person know they got you, then they're good because they know you are right there. And I think that's the thing with God, the intimacy.
Right, right.
God reaches the hand out, can you grab it?
Wow. That's good there, man. That was good there. How do you teach mentees to come back from like setbacks?
For setbacks, I was looking, find something in the setback that you actually use to grow. Like it could be something very small, that it really could take you to the next. An inch adds up to a mile. Can't take a mile on at one time. You're going to take a step inch by inch.
Right.
Find something that you know that you're comfortable with. Then when you grab that, study it and ask yourself, what do this apply to my life on the next person of me? The next person, my new me, can I build this person? You know what I'm saying? Can I do this? You take one piece at a time. Some people like to grab the whole jar, and don't understand how to manage it. Right. Once you do inch by inch, then you understand, okay, I can work on this right here first.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. Then you keep working as you go, Because like I said, some people want to grab the whole jar and don't understand that the whole jar you can't handle the whole jar right now. You got to take it one step at a time.
Absolutely. That's good stuff, man. And you're absolutely right. It could be a lot in that step.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Because, man, when I tell you my step, I had to really dig deep down in Marcus and say, okay, go through all the junk, all this and pull me out. And when you pull that person out, God's going to show you that person. So you have to understand and accept it and forgive yourself first. And when you forgive yourself first, then you can move on that.
And that's key, man. Forgiving yourself first. Absolutely. Also in that, you may have to understand how to set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? There may be a boundary that you missed in that setback. How do you teach your mentees on how to set boundaries?
Know how to say no.
No is it.
Yeah.
It's either yes or no, right?
Yeah. I say no because that was one of my biggest issues. I always say no. I was one person who want to please everybody. Like Pastor said, you'll know a true person is there for you by how they take your no. When you say no, and they get mad and like you changed. Nah, I didn't change. I just set boundaries. It's okay for you to walk right in, but if I say no, hold up, there's a problem. Then we got an issue now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's setting boundaries.
That's good stuff. He did talk on that here recently. And no, that protects you as well. It may protect the other person as well.
Yeah, man, yeah. No, they teach people how to treat you. They're not just fathers, they're just man, woman, anybody. That no option, no opportunity. You know what I'm saying? There's no next. There's nothing after this. No is no. And once you understand the boundary that you hold, the standard and the value you hold yourself with that no, they're gonna take that and say, I can't treat them like this no more. Or they're gonna walk out on you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, so that's how you know when you got a true friend. No, I can't do that no more. Okay, then they ride with you. They're gonna try to elevate you with it. They learn from you just as much as you learn from them. So when you say no, then you understand who respects you and who don't respect you.
So how did they learn from you?
They learn from me, man, because man, I used to, let people walk all over me.
In what way?
Just the way they talk to me, I knew something was wrong. I was so quiet. Pastor got a sermon mute band. that really defined where I was at. You know, he asked Adam, he said, Adam, where are you? Well, she bit the alphabet. Adam, you sitting there quiet. You know what I'm saying? So I was that quiet guy. I didn't say anything. I really let stuff just hit me. I just took all the punches, you know. And then, you know, I was so tired to the point, man, until sometimes I couldn't even get up. And when I got up, I was just tired. When I let go, that's when I really truly seen myself walk with energy, with the light.
How did you let go?
I let go by sitting in a dark place and saying, you know what, it's this or it's not this. No, I had to tell myself no. No, we're not gonna hold on to that. No, we're not gonna do this no more. No, Marcus, we're not gonna sit here. No, Marcus, you can do better. You know, talk to yourself. You gotta set boundaries on yourself. If you can't set boundaries on yourself, then everybody else gonna have a free will at you. I think I told somebody the other day, I said, when you meet God, you come from a driveway to a path. They said, what's the difference? I said, the driveway is too much room for too many people. When you got a path, it's just you and God. There can't nobody walk with you. It's just you and him.
Good stuff. Good stuff, man. You said a lot then. But internalizing, right? A lot of times we internalize and don't speak, you know, and we have to speak to ourselves. I've actually taken it to another step of not just speaking to myself, but how I speak to myself. And I'm talking about like first person, second person, third person. Nah, dog, you need to stop that. And even in the way that I take notes, a lot of times, you know, you take notes, whether it's a Zoom, whether it's some type of self-improvement course, or even a sermon, right? You write down what you hear, you know, they this, they that, you know. I say now, I do this. I need to stop this. So at that point, I'm actually also talking to myself, you know, as I read it. So I talk in first person and I take my notes in that same person. When I go back through my notes, I'm also internalizing what I need to stop doing.
You teach yourself about yourself. The I's, you know what I'm saying? I. You're speaking to yourself first. You can't teach somebody else if you haven't did what I yet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's just personal growth.
Yeah.
That's personal growth. How do you teach mentees on how to grow personally?
Grow personally, I think that's a dark room moment. There's always a dark room moment. Like I said, once you see yourself and understand everything that comes with you, all the mess that you did, all the mess that you've been in, everything that you accomplished, you know what I'm saying, that you not accomplished, everything that you have done that you haven't held yourself accountable for, you have to really at that moment do it. And once you do it, you gotta eat it. You gotta eat it, you know. And once you eat it, then you understand, okay, this is where I start from. Okay, how can I go to counseling?
Okay.
How can I get in the men's program?
So these are the ways that you eat it.
Yeah.
Getting into counseling, men's programs.
That right there. And then like really, then, you know, you had an ex-girlfriend, ask her, how was I? You know what I'm saying? And then it started with things like that, people that actually seen you. But you got some people that will manipulate you in those situations. So that's where the discernment comes in at. And you gotta
discern depends on how you love that situation. She might be like, come over here, let me talk to you. Come on over here. Putting a gun up under the table. Let me holler at you for a minute.
I'm shoot you a text. How's that?
Just text me. So what type of challenges have you ran into in mentoring? How did you overcome those challenges?
For myself? I always, that's the truth. You always run into yourself anyway. One thing you're always going to be in a fight with for the rest of your life is yourself. It's going to be, your past is always going to chase you. You just can't turn around and keep walking in the wrong direction.
True.
So I had to learn how to keep saying no to that person. You know what I mean? You know, I know you hear people like, man, 20 years ago, you know, I would have did this. That's the person still holding on to that. Once you really let that go, I don't have to tell you what I used to do 20 years ago. I can tell you what my present is that right now. You know, so the challenge was just, me just overcoming my past, overcoming the old person, overcoming the quiet person, overcoming the person that didn't say no, the people pleasing, that I really had to really just change. A person ain't never ready to change until they really ready to change.
Right.
You can talk to a wall all day, it ain't gonna move. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta learn how to turn away from the wall and look at the open space instead of just no space.
Right. And don't talk about that anymore. It's almost like, you got to be able to relate.
Yeah.
I use feel, felt, found as always my framework on relating. I know how you feel.
Yeah.
I felt the same way, but this is what I found. And I can't know how you feel, and I can't feel the same way if I didn't have that past.
Right.
But this is what I did to overcome that. Yeah. And so, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Cause I took, each year I took something to work on me. So the way that, I understand it while I was doing it. So if I mess up, I start all over again. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Okay, let me do this. So each year I started, with the discipline, the consistency, just being more committed to just working on me.
Right.
Because, I know y'all hear the statement, when the world going to be a better place? Well, it starts with you first.
Right.
One person, the world ain't going to be better just to be better. You got to start with that person.
Right.
When the person realize, okay, this is just me, then I got to change me for there's 1% better than it was before.
1% better. Absolutely. So after you've taken on a mentee in the program, how do you envision that mentee moving forward after being in the program and you mentoring that person?
I stay in contact, just kind of shadow them a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll go by, you know what I'm saying? I know you play ball at. Now I just kind of hang around and listen. Because sometimes you have to do that. I do it with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I listen to them, and then I'm like, okay, she handled that situation better. Then I'll call and say, what you do today? Oh, I went and did this. And I know, because sometimes you have to ask a person to repeat it back to you so they can hear it. If they don't hear it, then you have to say, okay, did you do this today or did you do this today? Because it's okay to take a mentee and be like, it's okay to be honest. Because some people want to still keep it in the dark. So, I have to, I just try to just make sure they're walking, you know what I'm saying, in some form of a straight line. It's okay to walk in a straight line, but sometimes you step to the right, sometimes you step to the left.
Right.
But sometimes you gotta be like, get back over there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get back over there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You off a little bit. It's okay. But the honesty is we're gonna keep them going straight.
And active. Actually, that's why you mentioned when you talk to them, follow up on pretty much that last conversation of what they were dealing with or things they had going on in their life. That's why I feel like you can father from prison.
Oh yeah.
The reason I believe that because it's being present is more than being physical.
Right.
Physically present.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the last time you talked to your child, let's say you in prison, follow up on that last conversation.
Right.
How was that? And if you really want to get good, you got to remember that. You got to internalize that because you may have to bring up a conversation months ago.
Right.
That's being present.
Right.
That's being present and understanding what your children is going through, valuing your seed.
Yeah. Because even with the prisons, I feel like that. That they should have an everyday call, a Zoom call with their kids. They got kids, Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Zoom, okay, it's 5 o'clock, let me Zoom my kid. Hey, did your homework? Did you do this? That helps kids that don't see their father say, you know what, at least my dad will Zoom me and talk to me. Because some fathers don't do that. But the fathers that do that, you know what I'm saying? I know a couple girls that grew up like that. And they said, that actually helped me. Because by him not being here, it bothered me, but at least I know I heard his voice.
So they was able to Zoom from prison?
Yeah. It was like they went to, how you go to visit? Their mom would call them on their phone and do it that way. You know what I'm saying? But, if I'm just saying, if now, if we could have Zoom in the prisons, you know what I'm saying, just tablet set up where they're going to say,
absolutely.
let me just call my child. You
right,
know what I'm
saying?
I think that would help a lot of parents out, even the mother out also, and vice versa.
Oh, absolutely.
And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? If it was the mother in jail or the father at home, that would help them ease it'll be questions that they don't have to answer, that they could see for themselves. You know, because sometimes, you know, the person that the parent that's at home, we get thrown with questions that we can't answer ourselves. And sometimes we got to leave them blank because we can't replace it with somebody else's answer. Because we do that, then they give an answer. It's almost like we're lying to our kid. Then they're going to take a whole nother turnaround. Right. So that's why I really believe in prison. They should do the Zoom.
Absolutely, man. The Zoom, they got tablets in prison. Yeah. So that type of communication, shoot, man, I'm looking at a lot right now as far as bringing fatherhood to the prisons. But so give me some of your final thoughts as it pertains to journey to manhood, because I believe that the scripture that talks about when I was a child, I thought like a child, I talked like a child, I reasoned like a child, you know. But when I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. So what are your final thoughts after the mentee has gone through that program and now they're entering, because they're not going to be man at that point, but they're entering into manhood?
I would say the journey would look like, you know, just, I know you always hear this thing growing up saying that, you know, child stay in the child's place. And sometimes when we do that, we make our kids go into a bubble, take them out through their adulthood. And then we wonder why there's grown people, they're grown kids, you know. And I feel like that, you know, with that journey right there, I think as we start just as parents to tell our kids, express yourself. I think that will open us up to more better men, better ways to walk, you know what I'm saying, ways to say no, and understanding that like you said, it's a journey. Every step is a milestone. So if we just understand that, you know, that we teach our men to respect each other. We teach them to respect our parents, respect the feeling, respect, and understand how empathy is, and how, especially mental health. Because there's a lot of men that suffer from that. And I really believe that journey, they don't go on, they leave the mental health behind. Because they trap themselves. When you trap yourself, you're really killing yourself. And when you're killing yourself, you don't really tend to take care of yourself. So, you know, the journey for just to get to the manhood, I feel like that, you know what I'm saying, once you get in high school, I think that every man, every child, every teenage boy should go through counseling. Counseling before they even get into the world. I wish they could open up a 13th year so they could have 1 year just into the world up under the school system.
Oh, not 12th grade, 13th grade.
13th grade, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? So that way you teach them, okay, how to manage money. You teach them how to go to counseling.
That's good stuff, man.
You teach them how to, you know what I'm saying, understand each other when you talk to each other. And get in a room full of none but men, none but women, you know what I'm saying? And have a man conversation. Have people come in on the panel, like Pastor Darius them do with Made Men. Take them through the whole 12-week program, so that way they can understand that when you get into this world, this is what you're going to go to. But understand that the brother next to you may be going through the same thing, so you're not in this alone. Right. You know, so I feel like that is a good way to take the journey to the manhood.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Appreciate you, dog.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I need you to come back.
Oh, yeah, man.
Anytime, need you to come back, man.
Anytime, man. Anytime, man.
All right, man.